don't be tricked here. Because you can't carry it with you. It's only to be used to be a comfort to people. And if you have an abundance of it, then you should give of that. This is not, Allah said, I want you to be happy. I want you to have those things. I want you to eat good food. I want you to have nice things. I want you to be comfortable. But don't forget about me. Remember me. And I will remember you. In other words, Allah was going to protect you from falling into the tricks and the traps of Satan to think that this world was the end all be all. Our prisons today are full of people, our people that were misguided. They will never be free to go and just get on a bus and ride downtown or across or get on a plane and get a passport and fly out of the country. They will never be able to go to one restaurant because Satan tricked them. And Satan has also put up more and more and more of these institutions, knowing that he is confident enough he's going to trick some more of us. That's why Allah Almighty says, He sends His servants among us to sanctify us, to purify us, and bring to us a new knowledge. Don't think that that was just for back then. The Quran, what people cannot understand through their intellect, it is not something that you can say past, present, and future. It's an ongoing, continuous light. Do you know what the new moon says? See, because everything that Allah Almighty created has its mode and its way of praising and glorifying Allah Almighty. When the new moon comes and it looks like an eyebrow, then you get that little crescent. Guess what the moon calls out to Allah Almighty? It says, "Oh Allah, perfect my light." What is the new moon saying? He said, perfect my light, so that that new moon may reach to a full moon. No one is asking Allah Almighty to perfect their lights, so there may be a full moon. And when you're a full moon, you have the knowledge and the understanding of this life and the next life while you're in this life. You do the work of this life and the next life in this life. You don't get hung up in this life. You use this life to perfect your lights for this life and the next life. We've been tricked. We have become mindless people, going into mosques and churches and synagogues with no doggone understanding of ourselves. Don't have a clue. Died in prisons, died in insane asylum, died crazy, mindless. Because our leaders don't know who they are and whose they are. They don't have a clue where they are, where they're going, where they've been. The first thing they can say is about the past when our ancestors was great. We're supposed to be impressed. That's just like saying, okay, our ancestors, they were ancestors that were great and were wealthy and had many gold and silver, and you broke. How does it help you? They had the riches. We don't have understanding. And yet we have children, and they grow up ignorant because we're ignorant. And all you see in the streets is ignorance. You don't have no time to be trying to kill somebody that's going to kill you. What kind of nonsense is that? We don't have a clue about ourselves. And the people that teach us don't have a clue about themselves. So the clueless is teaching the clueless. And so society becomes clueless and mindless. We are spiritual beings in a physical body. Please let us sit down. We're not just physical beings just coming here to eat, sleep, and drink and to die. We are more than that. Sit down. Jumah, you have to listen. Allah is sending us something. This is one of the most important moments through our whole week. That's why we remain ignorant, because we don't hear. How can we obey what we don't hear? This is serious. This is about our souls. That's why we're mindless. We don't get it. Allah Almighty is so merciful and so kind to us that He sends among us people to be among us, to live among us, so they may understand us enough to give us what we need. That's a real creator. And that's why we have to remember Allah Almighty and not remember anything else, because we're in need of that. No one knows when Allah is going to take them out of this life. And maybe we missed something we should have gotten, because Shaitan at that particular time didn't want you to get it, because he knew if you got it, you would be an adversary to him. So he sends distractions all the time. We have to fight for our focus. We have to fight for ourselves, our souls. We just can't get this anywhere, anytime. This month of Shaban, the prophet's month, is a very holy month. In fact, this night is one of the holiest nights, second only to the night of power. I'm not going to ask you, I'm begging you to make sure you stay this night in night of worship, because Allah Almighty is changing people's destiny based on those who are going to remember Him this night. He will remember you not this night, but forever, eternal, because this is a special night.
Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
Shaitan don't want you to get it. He will send any kind of distraction, any way, shape, or form, so you won't get it. And when you ask Allah Almighty in the grave, well, Allah didn't get it. Allah says, you got it, but you allowed Shaitan to take it from you. You didn't hold on to that ball hard enough. You fumbled. You got all the way to the goal line, and you let Shaitan take the ball because you got distracted. Gangsters don't go out like that. They do what they have to do. They make it happen. And they give us, the prophets, may Allah be pleased with them, they give us something we can't refuse. Can't refuse you. Once you understand who you are and whose you are, you know that this is the present continues. You know that any time you may reach to what you need to reach, any time. For women may reach their spiritual stations in 40 hours. That's why they're the most distracted. That's why it's not good for them to go out too much. It's not good for them to go out at night, because Shaitan never wants them to get it. That's why it's going to be more women in hell than men. Not that there's not going to be a lot of men in hell, but he knows that the woman is the first teacher. He can get her. He can get her. And them little babies coming out, he knows if he distract them, they're going to be ignorant, because they're the first teachers. Everybody says mommy. When they come out, it's like saying God. Mom. He knows that. It takes a man to reach his spiritual station 40 days. Longer. A woman has 9 egos, and mostly if she has control over the 9. It takes, and men have 1, and it's difficult for them to have power over the 1. Even though women may reach to their spiritual station quickly, they may lose it quickly, because Shaitan flatters them, distracts them. He knows their nature. He knows in paradise they like beautiful things. Comes on them, flattery, reaching their vanity, pulls them down, steps on them. This is serious. This ain't no joke. We don't have knowledge. We don't have the new knowledge. We don't understand what we need to understand. And we don't understand what we don't understand. So we got to listen and learn and apply what we hear and obey God to perfect our lights. We don't want to remain as a crescent. We want to be a full moon. We ain't asking about that. We're asking for everything and everything. Oh Lord, give me a new car. Give me a new house. Oh Lord, send me some more money. Oh Lord, send me a wife. Oh Lord, send me a husband. Send me some children. We're not saying, oh Lord, perfect my lights. Nobody's saying that. Only a few are saying, oh Lord, perfect my lights. When Allah Almighty is perfecting your light and you're asking Allah to perfect your light, you're remembering Allah. Allah makes you to remember Him. Allah makes you to focus on that. And so you understand and know when your light is being perfected. You know when you're receiving. It's like downloading on the internet. You know the things is downloading now. It's downloading. Don't unplug it. It's downloading. If a computer knows when it's being downloaded on it, then what about, and that's man's invention, what about the human being who was God's invention? We don't know what we don't know. We're asking Allah to forgive us and help us. Give us more focus and more value to ask for our lights to be perfected. And that's why we're in darkness. We still like a new moon, like an eyebrow. We're asking Allah to forgive us in here after one month that we can find it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala khairil muslimin Muhammad Nabi Yumi wa ahlihi wa sahbihi ajmain amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Thank Allah Almighty for every opportunity. And we must know that the Quran is being revealed 1,500 years ago. It's not a historical document. It is an ongoing, present, continuous unfolding itself. And the only way that we can actually be in tune to what was revealed 1,500 years ago is that our hearts are open. Our minds can never comprehend that unfolding. And that's when you listen, you got to listen with your heart. You got to listen with that part of you that's being addressed from a part of you that is not seen. A part of you that makes this body stand up, that gives it light and makes it light. When a person dies and that soul leaves and you're carrying the body, that dead body is like dead weight. It feels like lead. It takes several people to carry a body. Because it's like dead weight. That soul, that light, if it's perfected, makes you so light. That's why the prophets, may Allah be pleased with, was able to part the Red Sea and bring people back from the dead and do all kinds of miraculous things, because they were using their spiritual power that most people don't even think about, don't even know about. And yet they run into mosques, churches, and synagogues, and they hear it, but they don't know how to apply it on themselves because our egos are out of control and we are mindless. We're always distracted by the enemy of ourselves, and we never get it. Falling short of the goal line. 3 seconds left in the game, no more plays. All we had to do was cross the goal line. And nobody say look up in the stands and wave. Cross the doggone goal line. You wave after you get past the line. We keep falling in the same tricks and traps of Satan. Not a lecture. I'm not lecturing to you. I ain't giving you no sermon. We're just talking to our souls. Souls are talking. I'm not talking to your mind. I'm talking to your soul. Mind can never